Good morning and welcome back to another video. I nearly forgot to start filming some of the content, so I'm in the process of loading feeders, wet supers up into the back of the truck. Gorgeous day today, so I'm going to head out and start putting some of these wet supers and liquid feed on our OSR bees. So again, this is stuff I went through last week. I can get it out, just tiny bits of capped honey and uncapped nectar. So I'll put that on as a bit of rocket fuel. That'll get these bees going no end in this gorgeous weather. Ignore the climbing frame, that's for the girls we've picked up. So I'm going to jet wash that this week hopefully and put some treatment on it and then get it in the garden. Plus it'll give them something to do while they're up here as well. Whilst we're on a bit of other things in the unit, I can't hide the elephant in the room. So we're in the market for a new log burner, or fitting a new log burner. I know it's not really weather for it, it's coming to spring, but it was an absolute bargain, and now I know why. Because it's an absolute pig to move as well. So this has to be the biggest log burner in the world. It is huge. Don't know how it's going to go in, don't ask, but it just looks smaller in the photos. But yeah, that's a problem for another day. Oh, one of the horses just bit another one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Making the most of the weather out. It's Wednesday today, so it was the girls' birthdays on Monday, on Paddy's Day, so we took them out for the day, so nothing got done that day. And then yesterday I was out in Manchester all day, so I've got next few days now to kind of catch up, get out on the bees, liquid feed, so that's all mixed, ready to go, done and dusted. Got some jerry cans there. I'm just going to head out and put a little bit on. So this is the very first box I've opened of 2025, and just by chance that is a box of bees. I was concerned that they haven't got much stores, that's what I was checking, but I can see frames of feed there. So these girls are well in front of me, and one I'm going to have to keep my eye on. Just come to look at them. Miles's Hives, there's so much pollen coming in on these. Look at that. It's the same way everyone. So I was contemplating, do I put some pollen sub on? And I think the answer is no, with the amount that's coming into these. So as you drive around, there's not massive of colour, not masses of colour, but obviously dandelions are out, crocuses are out, things like that. Dandelions? Yeah, dandelions are coming out actually. Daffodils I meant though. And these girls seem to be bringing enough in, so I'm at the moment not too concerned. But what I am going to check is for something that's bright orange, so that's going to be crocuses. Yeah, happy days. I'll get suited up then, and we'll pop a few lids and see what's going on. So as I said, this is Miles's site, and looking how active they are, I'm starting to get a little feeling that these bees just might be just a little bit in front of me, or certainly bigger colonies than I anticipated. So they're over near enough a full box, but there's still quite a bit of stores in there actually. But I'm just going to put a wet super on. So that's Miles is done, just at Mike's. Oh, the ground feels hard. I don't drive on it. I really don't. But I am tempted. Oh God. Oh, best not. I'm having an internal dilemma in my head. God, it does feel hard enough. Anyway, Miles is done over at Mike's. I'm gonna check these hives here now. In fact, you know what, I'll get away with it on the track. It's definite. Just make my life 10 times easier from drive up to it. Check Miles's over at Mike's. These girls are exactly the same. Very busy. Loads of daffs there in the corner, bringing some dandelion. Just past some dandelions. I already know there's at least one dead out, which is that one. I'm in the flight line, I'm going to get pinged. Sorry girls. Yeah, definitely one dead out there. I knew about that one, but the rest are really busy. So same scenario. I'm going to move these. It's whether I move them into the woods a little bit or I move them to the other end of the field into the trees, because they're on a slope. They're even worse this year than they were last year, because they've sunk a little bit, and as you well know, they're a pig to get to on the field when the field's damp. So okay. Same scenario. Wet supers on, a little trickle of feed if they need it, and then we'll go and check the other ones that are around the corner. I made it! I actually made it! Look at that! I didn't get stuck! Oh, happy days. Yes, still no off-road tyres on this. I'm not tight, I'm just frugal. Why is that red X on the battery? I'll put it on charge anyway. So another gorgeous day. It's meant to be lovely and hot today. So today's plan, we're just up. Vic's come up with us with the girls. What's today, Vic?
Another year older.
Another year older. It's Vic's birthday. 30 again. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, Vic's come up with us. We're going to grab the girls' suits. They might come up to do the nukes. So my plan's to go through the nukes, equalise them, because obviously I want them as even as possible, ready for sale. And then if they need any feeding, they're going to get a round of syrup. And then other than that, again, we've got some full hives up there, as you know. We're going to stick some feed into those too. So if I can get a couple of nuke sites done today, I'll be very happy. And then we've just got some odd jobs to do. You helping? It's a little bit windy, but it's lovely and warm. Smoke is lit, and I've come out to go through some hives and nukes. So I'm just going to obviously assess them for feed, assess them for space, and if they need equalising, I'm going to do that when I'm here too. But yeah, full suited up. It's lovely and warm, a little bit windy, but it's not stopping the bees, and the air is busy as you like. Perfect day for getting these hives for the first time. Right, let's get on with it then. So there's one here. I'm just trying to give you an example of what I'm doing. So these bees look great over half the box, but they're off centre, so to speak. So I'm just going to move a frame from this side, stick in this, move the bees over, and they can spread out gradually then, or evenly should I say. But good healthy colony coming out of for that size, coming out of winter. I'm made up with that. That's actually, I'm not just saying, one of our smaller colonies, so the majority are over full box, which sounds great but causes issues in itself straight from the offset, because those bees will be the first ones ready to swarm. So there we go, that's one nuke site gone through. I know one thing, my back's feeling it. Certainly I had to practice bent over like that. Right, so general roundup of that. So the nukes are probably over 3 frames brood, some bigger, some smaller. The full size hives are booming, which to be fair though, that's how I want them, because they are going off to the OSR over the weekend or early next week. these guys here, and then so much pollen coming in, so I'm glad I've had a look in. So I spoke with Harry yesterday regarding pollen sub and if I needed any, because they've got an amazing one in from Beeutiful Honey. So it is probably the best one out there, and they're doing it in I think 2 kilo sacks and be 25 kilos. And I said I'll go in the hive, see what's going on, and our bees are bringing plenty of pollen in at present. That may change in a few days or so, in a week or so, whatever, but at the moment I'm happy with what they're bringing in. And I tell you what, they are bringing a lot in of nectar. So every single colony is bringing in a decent amount of nectar and storing it in the frame. So although I brought a load of sugar syrup if need be, I haven't put any on. Again, that may change in the next few days, next week or so, as flowers start dying off and the season starts changing a little bit. But at present, they've got enough in for the brood that they're rearing, and there is a fair bit of robbing going on as well. But see where that's shut? Yeah, well, yeah, generally happy with what I've seen. Right, spot a lunch, and then I'll go over to the next Nuke site. Just shut that. Thread and a needle. Right, see you in a bit. Good morning then, another morning of Nuke checks. So, a little bit windy this morning. There was a bit of flight from these girls. It's not so bad actually, there's a bit of a windbreak with that, oh, where did you go? With that hedge there just behind. So, as well as checking through these nukes and hives and whatever else, so some of these actually overwintered in these wooden boxes, so I am going to transfer those into some poly nukes because the weather is starting to get to them a little bit, but I think it'll just bring them on that little bit quicker being in a bit of poly. They're not having to work as hard, but these survived like that with a block of fondant strapped to the top of the roof all the way through winter. They're absolutely fine. So people worried about insulating hives and wrapping them in all sorts of bubble wrap and this and that to the other. The bees aren't bothered as long as they're dry. Good morning then, it's Sunday morning. Huge apologies, I would normally have had this week's video out last night, so yesterday afternoon, whatever, Saturday, but we've had so much on this week, I'm just way behind. One, obviously, usual stuff with the bees. Obviously we've been checking nukes. As I've already said, I lost a day because I'm still doing bits with Nat West in Manchester, and obviously lost Monday because it was a girl's birthday, as I said. And we've got a couple of things going on behind the scenes that I can't tell you about just yet, and we're also in the process of a house move, which is currently looking like this. So this is our new home. At the moment, every single room completely looks like this. So when I say we've got other stuff on and a little bit on my plate, now you know why. But can't grumble on that, and obviously priority's got the girls' swing set up first. But yeah, hence why the big log burn as well. I think it's going to be way too big, but don't tell Vic. She was said told you so. But yeah, that's where we're up to at the moment. On with this. Hopefully in a couple of months this will be done, whilst doing everything else. So yeah, a little bit spread a little bit thin at the moment. So, but I am going to make the most of this terrible weather outside. So it is absolutely tipping down, which isn't great weather-wise, although all the flowers and things like that will come on no end, but more so the rapeseed, and that's what we're going to be doing this morning. So I've come in to get my little entrance blocks, which are here. So upholstery foam just cut to size, and we're going to start moving some hives to the OSR. So come in, pick that up, everything else I need, some straps and whatever else, and then we'll get moving. Have a look at these absolute anchors. Jackasses. First of all then, wellies on, raincoat on, because it's still pouring down. Like I say, ideal low, there's definitely no bees flying. And then I've not brought the trail, I'm just going to load them into the back of the truck. I should get, I think, 12 hives in here, maybe 12 or 10. Anyway, may take 2 trips with this site, and every chance I get this week, that's going to be a case of just moving bees around to OSR sites. I think with either 3 or 4 for this season. One I've got to look at, it's not in the best area, the best location, as in right next to a housing estate that has a bit of trouble, so I'd rather not lose the hives, you know, and give up the site. But we'll do a recce on it anyway and see what it's like. First thing first then, hive entrances. So using my upholstery foam and my laser engraved hive tool, I'll sit you down here so you can see. And all I do is go along first of all. All I do is go along and just poke the upholstery foam in the gap, and then I can come back knowing the bees aren't going to pile out, move the hives. As easy as that. No, I'll just go along, do the rest, and then I can start ferrying them down then to the truck. And there we go, that's the first lot of bees moved for 25. Not the biggest load of bees, I get that. Yeah. But it's a start. So yeah, I should have planned better at the end of last year. Well, and I did try to be honest. And put the hives where I intended them to go, but this site that we're going to now, this OSR site, is a new one for this year. We've not been here before, so, and I didn't know about it last year. So there's only so much I can do, isn't there? So right, take my time up this track, and then we'll go and drop these off. So I spy with my little eye something beginning with OSR. So this is at one of our sites, very close to home, literally within minutes. And as you can see, it's just starting to come in flowering places. So it's a 50-acre site, but although some bits are way ahead than others, some that's a little bit behind, so we should get an even decent month or so once it starts. I'm over the moon to be finally taking bees to the OSR.